Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Moran and you are on Moran Arcana readings. So today is going to be a reading for the full moon coming up on the 31st of May, which is also a blue moon. So it's a bit rarer than a normal full moon because we have two full moons in a month. That's why it's called a blue moon. So it's a very important time for, second chances and extra powers of manifestation, new opportunities, all these type of things. So we're just gonna have a look at what the tarot says, and then I have two oracle cards at the end, like always. But yeah, so I'm gonna use the tarot first, and then we'll go ahead with the oracle cards. So I will shuffle the deck in three. While I shuffle the cards, if you can think of your situation, if you can think of what you're trying to manifest, what you want to know, what messages you want to receive, all the questions that you may have, and then I will cut the deck in three and we'll go ahead with the reading. So yeah, let's go ahead. So I usually shuffle the deck 3 times and then I cut the pile in 3. That's just how I do it. So yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at what's happening. Okay, so there's a lot of strength that I can see, like a lot of things that we have to work on in terms of protecting our energy and protecting, stand on our ground. But let's go ahead and see the first card that we have. So we have the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is a card that can signify that you will receive some kind of opportunity. If you're looking for love, it's also a good card that says that there might be, a knight on his horse that is coming to give you a love offer. So if you're looking for love, this is a good sign. But as a whole, it's more a sign of an opportunity that is going to come to you. So a new opportunities, like I said, the blue moons are about opportunities and new ways of thinking about things and new ways of feeling about things. The Knight of Cups, because it's the cup suit, is also related to emotions. So there is this aspect also of feeling differently, feeling different type of emotions regarding maybe an opportunity that is being presented to you. Maybe an opportunity will be presented to you that is completely new to you. You've never experienced it, and it was never even in your mind. You never really thought about this before, and now it's being presented to you, and it's making you feel differently about life, about where your future is going, because you have suddenly a new way of seeing things, a new way of feeling about your life, a new way of experiencing life. It's also a card that speaks about creativity. So the cups again are all related to expression, creativity, but it's more expression of the heart, and creativity. So again, it's more an expression of what you feel in your heart. So there could also be an opportunity that comes to you that is more related to who you are as a being inside, like what you really like, what you really enjoy doing, almost like what you enjoy doing as a hobby, that you would like it to be more than a hobby. But definitely there's an opportunity coming with this. So yeah, that's a very positive card. Let's see how many major arcana we have. We have 2 major arcana. So again, very important. The major arcanas are the most important card of the tarot. I mean, they are the most they are the cards that have the most energy. So all of the cards are important, but these ones carry bigger messages and will be more prominent in your life. So the Hermit card speaks about having to maybe go within, you know, retreat from the busyness of the everyday life. And I think I've said that in a previous reading as well with the new moon. So the moon is really asking us to, at the minute, go within, retreat from the busyness of life to figure out what we really want to achieve in life. So the hermit is, you know, you can imagine a hermit going into its cave and, you know, being excluded from everyone and everything, and is really trying to think. So the hermit gathered all the knowledge and is now going in his cave and is making sure that he's using the knowledge that is gathered to understand where he wants to go next and what he wants to achieve. So it's very much about you going into, you know, a hermit phase, a hermit mode, putting things on paper, the things that you want to achieve, the things that you know how to do, the things that you don't know how to do but you would like to, all these type of things. Like, I would say it's more about capitalizing on what you know and how you know to do things. So let's say, for example, you are in a situation where you're not happy at work, at your current job, but this current job taught you some skills. Let's say, for example, you are working in customer service. Well, you have people skills because of this customer service job. So maybe now you can not necessarily work in customer service anymore, but use your skills as, you know, people person to be able to do something related to helping others, or, you know, anything like this, setting up a business as you know, some kind of coach. I'm inventing, obviously, because I don't know your life. As always, it's a general reading, so you apply it to your life. But this is the energy of the hermit, is really going, you know, going in your own little world and figure out what you know how to do perfectly, where you want to go next. Like, are you happy where you are? If you're not happy, what can you change about your life to make it, you know, different and feel better? So it's all about this type of energy of gathering the knowledge that you have, going in hermit phase where you retreat from, you know, the busyness of life. And when I say that, I know that you can't take holidays, but you have probably weekends and you have evenings that are free. So during these quiet times, this quiet period of times that you can have, just try to really focus on what you want to achieve next. And I know, again, sometimes it can be hard because, you know, we are busy all week, so we work and then we have the weekend to rest and we don't necessarily want to work more. But if you're not happy with your life the way it is, then maybe you have to just give a little extra effort in order to be able to change it. But in order to be able to know how you're going to change it, you need to retreat from the busyness of life, the busyness of the everyday, and really focus on what you want to achieve. There's a light here that you can't see, but it's basically in a traditional tarot, it's a star inside this little lamp thing. So it's really about you know, going within, going in a cave, going in hermit phase, and coming out with the star, which is representative of hope and bright future and, you know, a wish upon a star. So it's coming out with this, knowing exactly where you're going to go, and the hope and the star, the light, is going to guide you towards your dream, towards what you want to achieve. So yeah, very important message and very good, but there's a need for you to retreat from the busyness of life. Then we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a very positive card. It means celebration. So there's a very good omen here with this new opportunity being presented to you, this new thing that is coming into your life with the celebration. So there's some aspects of celebration. There's also an aspect of you have a tight group of friends that are here to support you, and you should rely on them as well. And it's also a card that says, like, don't take life too seriously. Sometimes it's good to celebrate every little achievement that you are making. Don't forget to celebrate. So even if it's something as simple as, yes, I've done the list of pros and cons, that's it, that's all you've done, but it's kind of a milestone, because it gives you a direction where to go. So don't forget to celebrate. You don't have to do a big party, but you can just, invite some friend over and be like, I just want to have a drink because I've achieved something in my life. You don't even have to tell them, and I'm happy about it. So let's go for a drink, and you can just have one drink. So it's this, but it's also relying on this support system that you have around you. So you have a strong support system of people around you that want your best. So they want to see you succeed. So you should rely on them as well. And if you need help, if you need support, if you need even emotional support, you should be able to contact them and be like, okay, let's go for a drink. You don't even have to tell them I don't feel good. You can if you want, but you can just, use them to lift you up a little bit. So it's not like you use them in a way of like, you draining their energy, but it's just because these people, the people that are in your life that are usually lifting you up, they are good for you. So when you have a little bit of a low time, a downtime, a little bit of a low energy, you don't feel good necessarily, you can just go out with them because you're going to have a good time, you're going to laugh, you're going to feel loved, and it's going to make you feel better. But there's definitely an aspect of celebration. So maybe you have 3 people in your life that you trust and that you feel good around, and I think that's who you should rely on, and who you should maybe express your worries, maybe express your hopes and projects for the future, and they will be very positive about it, and they will encourage you to follow your dreams. So very positive card again. Then we have the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is probably, well, after the 7 of Wands we also have, but the 10 of Wands is, I would say, the hardest card of the spread that we have here today. But it's just saying that you currently have too much on your plate and you cannot do everything, okay? So that's why you need to get out of this everyday life, the busyness of everyday life. The 10 of Wands says that you're carrying too much. You're carrying even responsibilities that are not yours. So maybe there are people that have put responsibilities onto and given to you, and now it's your responsibility. And maybe it was temporary, maybe it was just like, yeah, can you take care of this for a moment while I sort out my life? And you said, yeah, no problem, I will do it. It could be in your personal life, or it could be at work. A colleague asking you, oh, can you take care of this for this time, and next time I will do it. And then next time they said, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't do it, can you do it again please? And then it became a cycle, and at the end they didn't even ask you anymore. They were like assuming that you would do it because you've been doing it for so long. But at the beginning it was not your responsibility, but it became your responsibility. So the 10 of Wands says that you need to review your responsibilities. You need to put them down on paper again and say, okay, this was not my responsibility, I'm gonna give it back to the relevant person. This, I don't know why it's my responsibility, I'm gonna either get rid of it or give it to the relevant person. Let's say, for example, it's in your home life, and you are doing you're doing the laundry, you're doing the shopping, and you're doing the washing up, and you're doing this and that, and again it became your responsibilities without really you wanting to become your responsibilities. It's just because someone didn't do it once and you didn't want to leave your house in a mess, so you did it, and then you did it again, and you did it again, and then the other person assumed that, okay, it's fine, I can just let them do it. And sometimes this type of behavior from the other person it's not necessarily conscious, it's not necessarily to be mean or to be bad or to be lazy. It's just because it becomes a reflex for them to rely on you doing it. But anyways, that's a card that says that you need to slowly but surely give away all these responsibilities that are not yours, okay? And it's also a card that says be more mindful of what you consider urgent, or what you consider needs to be done today. We have a tendency nowadays to think that everything needs to be done straight away, but some of the things can be done later. So it's also putting down again the list of things that you have to do, I don't know, monthly, weekly, yearly, and see if it can be postponed to another time. So let's say, for example, it's weekly and you have to do so many things weekly. Well, maybe there's a thing that you can postpone to the week after or the month after even. Or maybe it doesn't even have to be there anymore. It's something from the past. Or, you know, if it's at work, it's the same. What needs to be done straight away because it's urgent and what can be done later. The Ten of Wands says that basically. It's basically you carrying too much that you don't need to carry. And there are a lot of things that you don't need to carry. And it's a good sign as well, because after the Ten of Wands, when we actually realize that we carrying too much and we just need to give away things, first of all, we're gonna move faster because obviously you're getting rid of some weight that's been slowing you down. So you moving faster towards your new opportunities, your new goals that you want to achieve. But it's also a card that says that after the 10 comes the Ace, and the Ace of Wands is a spark of inspiration, a spark of good things happening in our life, a spark of the things that we're passionate about. It's almost like the fire within you is being reignited again. So yeah, that's again a card that is a little bit more difficult, but it's good to know that it's almost the end, and it's a good reminder to have this card so you can, you know, divide the responsibilities. Then we have the Seven of Wands, which actually is very relevant for the Ten of Wands, which is very good. And the Seven of Wands is about standing your ground. So standing your ground, like she has, this person has one wand that she's carrying, and it's the wand of victory. And you can see other wands trying to get at her, but the Seven of Wands speaks about you having to stand your ground, whether it's your own belief system, whether it's, you know, this thing that I told you of dropping the responsibilities and giving the responsibilities away to the relevant people, or getting rid of some responsibilities that you don't need. But it's also, you know, standing your ground in terms of, okay, I'm not living the life that I want to live, so I'm gonna step away a little bit from, you know, the everyday life to focus a little bit more on myself. And it requires a little bit of, you know, character and strength to be able to say that to people and stand your ground, because people will be like, oh no, you can't leave me, you know, you can't do that, you can't do this, we need you to take care of this, we need you to take care of that. And actually it's more guilt tripping you than they actually need it. You know, they could do it themselves. It's just some people were so comfortable with the fact that you were doing it that they don't want to take the load on them anymore. You know, they just like, yeah, well, you've been doing it for so long, and now you telling me that I have to do it. And it's just, well, yeah, because it was your responsibility and I didn't choose this responsibility, so now you're taking it back. But it's really about standing on your ground and protecting your energy as well. You know, protect your energy when you're trying to achieve things, when you're gonna have these moments of celebration. You will have people that are happy about it, but you will have jealous people, so you will need to be careful to protect your energy so these people cannot reach you. You know, their energy, their negative comments, their negative things cannot reach you, because you protected your energy, you standing your ground, you know what you want to do, you know what you want to achieve, so there's no one that is going to stop you doing this. And it's, you know, wands are about fire, so it's also like defend yourself with, you know, a lot of passion. Be passionate about what you want to defend, and defend it with passion. And for the final card, we have the Strength card, which is the second major arcana. So the Strength card is a very good card. It doesn't speak about physical strength, obviously. It speaks about being strong, being emotionally and mentally strong, which is again very relevant for these two cards, with these two cards. So it's very much about having the strength to stand your ground, having the strength to go after what you want, having the strength to say no to people when you are focusing on something and they tell you, can you do this for me, and you are already too thin with time and you're focusing on your own thing, and they pushing you to do this and that for them when you told them already, I'm sorry, I don't have time. It's very much this energy of being strong to stand your ground, being strong to not be afraid of saying no to people, to go after what you want, to achieve what you want, to go after your opportunities, your dreams, your goals. But it's also a card that says like there's a little warning, but in this spread it doesn't apply too much. It's more strength of being who you are and giving back responsibilities to people and focusing on what you want to manifest. But there's a little warning that says don't be too arrogant, okay? Tame the lion within. So it's good to be strong, passionate, and because this is a fire sign, this is representative of Leo, and Leos can be impulsive, they can be a bit arrogant, they can appear very strong, opinionated, and it can sometimes, you know, brush people the wrong way. So even saying no to people and staying your ground, there's a way to do it that is not going to burn bridges, you know, it's going to be kind, is going to be just an acknowledgement of, okay, I'm not saying this to be mean, but you need to take this responsibility back because it's not my responsibility anymore. So it's just making sure that you tame the lion within you, even if you're passionate about it, there is a way to say things. So it's also about this, you know, keeping the emotional and the lion contained within you, the passion contained, okay? But also, you know, being strong emotionally to not let emotions take over and be able to express your feelings in a calm and in a calm demeanor. So you are very aligned with who you are, and there's proud. You can be proud because Leos are also people that are very proud. So you can be proud, but you don't have to be arrogant. You know, there's a difference between the two. So don't brush people off in a negative way. Just be respectful and be calm and make them understand with kindness, you know, that they need to take this responsibility now because you have other things you want to focus on, other projects. So yeah, this is the message with this card. So now we're going to look at the Moonology deck. If you liked the reading so far, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. It's helping me and it's helping the channel grow. And comment because I like to know how it resonates with you, how it resonates with your life. But also remember that it's a general reading, it's not a personal reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. But I will pull one or two cards. I will pull two cards for this deck, just so we have a message from the moon, because it is a full moon that we're doing the reading for. So let's see what the moon has to say. But overall, it's a very positive reading. You just need to make sure that you are basically giving space for the new opportunities. That's why you have this, because you have to get things out of your life to be able to welcome the new things that are coming. But let's have a look what the moon has to say. Okay, so the first one we have slow it down, moonstone, and then we have take a breath. Well, this is kind of like what I've said, you know, get away from the busyness of life. So here we have moonstone, slow it down, and we have a beautiful full moon here with the blue around. So definitely the blue moon is here, even though the blue moon is not gonna be blue, you know, the moon is not gonna be blue. It's just called the blue moon because we have two full moon in the same month. So we had one the 1st of May and now we have one the 31st of May. But I just wanted to call out the fact that we have a full moon here and we have the blue color. Anyway, slow it down. So like I said, with the Hermit, and these two cards are basically kind of like the same message. So here we have Moonstruck, take a breath. And it's just like both of them are basically telling you, you know, go within, slow it down, take a breath, and realize what you want to do. But get away from the busyness of life. Take a breath is also, you know, take a breath to realign your priorities, your responsibilities, and making sure that it's not you're not taking too much on. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna expand too much on it because it's basically confirming what I've said with the Hermit, that you just really need to get away from the everyday life, the busyness of the everyday life, and you need to make sure that you align your plans and you really think about where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and getting rid of some of the responsibilities that are not yours anymore, so you can first of all take a breath, you can breathe again, you don't feel so constrained by all the responsibilities, but also is giving space for these new opportunities that are going to come into your life. And now we're going to have one or two cards again for from this deck, which is the another deck with the moon. I forgot the name. I think it's called Moon and Earth Spirit. I can't remember how it's called, but let's have a look at what this deck has to say, what message this deck has to tell us. But yeah, the big message is take a breath, slow it down, go within, get away from the busyness of life, and try to figure out what you want to achieve in life, while also being strong enough to give people their responsibilities. White light, we have gratitude and rejoice. So I pulled 3 cards. I wanted to put 2, but we have so we have white light. So white light speaks to me about gaining clarity. It's gaining clarity on what you want to achieve. So it's almost like you are, and there's this dome here. So again, there's this aspects of you going within to find the light. Find the light, find what is going to light you up. Things that are going to, things that you want to achieve, things that you want to things that you want to achieve, the things that where you want to go next, the next step of your life. And you can see here, so as I told you, there's a little light here, and it's almost like, it's the same kind of shape. So it's almost like, again, you need to go within to find the light, to find what is really lighting you up, to find what you really want to do in life, to find what is where you want to go next. What are the responsibilities that you don't need anymore, what you would like the opportunities to be, and if they're presented, are you going to accept them or not, and there's a few stars in them. And I told you with the hermit, the hermit is coming out of the cave with a star, which is, the hope and how can I say, the hope for the future, and the light. So the light that is guiding him towards his next stage. So it's just, again, reminding us of what I told you with the hermit. So you're going to come out with this, out of this phase where you're going to know exactly where you want to go, what you want to achieve. And there's this aspects of you being guided by this light within you, the light that you've turned on again about what you want to achieve and where you want to go. And your path is being guided and is being lighted up by this inner light. So very good card again. Then we have gratitude. So there's also an aspect of you having to express gratitude towards everything that you've achieved so far, and gratitude for all the experiences that you've experienced as well. And staying in a state of gratitude, because when you stay in a state of gratitude, then everything kind of falls into place. So even if you do have responsibilities that have been put on you and you don't think it's fair, as I said with the strength card, just thank the people with kindness, and reject the responsibilities with kindness. It doesn't have to be a big drama, but you need to be grateful as well to have what you have, and be able to be able to give these responsibilities away. So there's also an aspect of gratitude to have. And when we stay in a mind of gratitude, or an energy of gratitude, we attract everything, and everything starts to fall into place. So stay in a state of gratitude. And then we have rejoice, which is, again, is kind of a keyword of the 3 of Cups. Rejoice. So There's also, you know, like this owl here. So we can see it here, we can see it here, and we can see it here on the shoulder of this person. So I feel like you're also being protected and guided by spirits, by your angels. So make sure to listen to the sign, because you have 3 owls here that are next to the lady. So there's someone watching over you. There's something or someone watching over you. It could be your angels, it could be your guides, you know. So make sure to pay attention to the signs as well. They're trying to send you signs to guide you, okay, to guide you and to help you, maybe getting rid of some responsibilities, or maybe to feel more grateful, or maybe to find some joy. So make sure to observe the signs, okay. But yeah, rejoice very much about the 3 of Cups energy. So there is going to be a moment for you to rejoice. You're going to feel lighter, you're going to feel better about your life, and you're going to be able to enjoy and celebrate with the one that you love. So yes, that was the reading for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed, again, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It was a very good reading. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye bye.